Be pouring it up as we're sitting here.
Weird.
Hi, Kate.
Weird. Okay, sorry about that. So I got kicked off. I got kicked off the internet entirely, not just out of Zoom. So let's start that over. And I want to screen share, but I'm not going to because I don't know what it's going to do to my computer. So I'm going to just run through this on my screen. And I did send it to Addie. So if you're on Addie's team, she has the ability to send it to you. And I know if you're on my team that you do have it. So run through this with me. We started with setting a schedule for new coaches. The first thing has to be your priority on your journey, your workouts, your Shakeology, your personal development, your meal plan, and really determining how you fit all that into your life. You may think no one cares. You're wrong. You are absolutely wrong. That is the most important part of your journey, is how you fit it in, because everybody is going to come up with the excuse, I don't have time, I'm too busy, I have kids, or, just my job is, I just can't fit it in. So the way you fit it in is going to relate to how other people will be able to fit it in. So telling that journey and telling that huge part of your journey at the very beginning, your successes, your failures, just little tips, that is exactly what you want to draw people that are like you to you. So that when you're figuring that out, that is your content. And that's your content really all the way through your coaching career. And if it gets repetitive, that means it's probably working. You probably want to take different pictures. You probably want to change up the wording, but the consistency of your schedule, the consistency of what you do every single day, that is going to impress people. That's going to build the trust and the accountability with people that are watching your story. So, like I said, once you have that content, which will be every day because you'll be following a program, you'll be eating through the meal plan, you'll be drinking your shakes, you'll be reading your personal development, then it's time to figure out when to post and when works for you, and to pick one platform. Last year, I chose Facebook as my platform. I chose Facebook because I had more content on there from when I wasn't a coach, and I understood the messenger through Facebook, which I didn't really understand the direct messaging through Instagram as well when it came through Instagram. So I really haven't played through Instagram very well. I do have some tips on here because other coaches in the Lux use that pretty much exclusively, so I picked up some tips from them. But really my area of expertise at this point in my journey is Facebook. And just a few little tips for new coaches. 3 to 5 times a day. You want to be in people's news feeds. Like when I go and I meet people face to face, they're like, oh, I feel like I know you. I see you every single day. Like literally people tell me that. And that means I'm doing my job. That means that if I'm in their news feed every single day, that I am relevant in their lives, even if it just is a cute picture of my niece. Now, recently when I run into people, that's what they bring up even more than my workouts now. So that piece of my life, being an aunt, people can relate to that probably more than they can me working out every day and me drinking Shakeology every day. So that has become an important piece of my story. When you're on Facebook, you want to wait 2 to 4 hours between your posts. If you're posting every single hour or every 30 minutes or anything less than 2 hours, Facebook is going to bump what you posted an hour ago, and it's not going to get as much interaction as it could have if you would have waited for 2 to 3, 4 hours in between those posts. So it's going to bump your content as soon as you post something else. So you really want to allow that time for as much engagement as possible to happen on that post. The third thing about Facebook, do not share content. So you find a really cool recipe on one of those awesome websites that does it in a video. Make your own video. Make your own little slideshow. But make the recipe yourself, or take a picture, like find a picture of the recipe and use it as an engagement post. Comment below if you'd like the recipe. I do those all the time. I get at least 20 comments from people, and that's boosting my posts, okay? So don't share content. Even if it's the funniest picture you've ever seen, take a screenshot of the picture, or if you click on the picture on Facebook, you'll actually have the ability to save the photo and repost it with something original that's original from your words or your point of view. That's going to connect more with people than a share. Next part, engagement is key. You're going to ask questions. You're going to post options. If you scroll back to my Facebook about 2 hours ago, an hour and a half ago, I did a post where it had tall boots, booties, and tennis shoes. And I'm going to a bachelorette party this weekend. I posted those 3 pictures. I combined them in Photofy and gave options and said, what do I do? I think last time I looked, I had over 28 comments on it. Am I actually going to wear that stuff? Maybe. I have tall boots, I have booties, I have tennis shoes. You know, I kind of made it that I actually have that stuff, but it's going to be on Saturday. No one is going to remember that post, but it's boosting. So the next post that I do, Facebook is going to boost that into all of those people that commented on that. Facebook is going to boost that post into their newsfeed. And that is awesome. Thank you, Facebook. I didn't have to pay for it. I just had to do a little Pinterest, a little Photofy, and post it. People love to give their opinion. You can also post like funny current situational things. So there's been a lot of stuff in the news about the inauguration. I try not to go political. Coaches, we try to stay out of that politics. But if there's something funny that can be funny for both sides, then yeah, post something like that. When a celebrity dies, I think when Bon Jovi died, I found a really cool picture of him kind of in a water brush, water paint, you know, that one of those pictures, and just put a peace sign and a heart, and it got like 5 shares, you know, so relevant to what's going on on the news and current situations. That's important stuff to share as well. And then always make sure your photos are clear and relate to what you're talking about. And when I say clear, honestly, the biggest mistake that I make with my pictures on a regular basis is my camera on my phone. I use my phone so much, it gets smudgy. And so that makes my pictures blurry. So literally all you need to do, and all I need to remember every time I take a picture, use your shirt sleeve and clean off the camera. And if you're not doing a selfie, then clean off the camera on the other side, because literally so many of my pictures, I know, I kid you not, so many of my pictures turn out so blurry because I have fingerprints on my camera. Don't make that same mistake. And then also a big one is make sure the light is in front of you and not behind you, because you'll end up with weird shadows and it's just not as good of a picture as it could be. And then last but not least, on Facebook, do videos. I know you're terrified of them. I know they scare you to death. Do them anyways. Video, you need to film your workouts. Let me repeat that. You need to film your workouts, because people don't believe that they can do at-home workouts. People still are brainwashed into thinking that they need a treadmill, that they need an elliptical, that they need that machine that you sit in and you flick your legs up and back. Like that's actually going to do something. That's actually going to make their waist smaller. It's not. They need to see you dancing to Country Heat. They need to see you punching to Quarter Force. They need to see you dying for Insanity Max 30 and pumping weights and all the 21-day fixes. That is what they need to see to believe that they can do it too. Okay, so if you are not videotaping your workouts, start now. You probably didn't think you could do that workout, but you are. Now, if it's not on video, it didn't happen. That's your new motto. If I don't film it, it didn't really happen. Amanda, I'm looking at you.
I know.
Now,
I do a lot.
I know. Now, the length of time on videos, because those can get too long, they can be too short, and interaction isn't going to be right. So I've kind of got 2 rules with my videos that I talk in. So if I was going to go live and talk about my day, or going to go live and talk about a recipe that I did, I'm going to try to keep that video right around 7.5 minutes. Okay. If I go over by a couple of minutes, great. If I go under by a couple of minutes, okay. But 7.5 is really the time period that people are going to listen to you. If you're doing a live video, the first few minutes you're building your audience. So talk about random stuff, engage with people that are jumping on, but try to keep it around that 7.5 minute mark. If you're shooting your workout, I try to keep it at about a minute. And so that's usually 4 moves at 15 seconds a piece, okay? And I use VideoShop, and I really don't know what else people are using. I use VideoShop to put all of those little sections of my workouts together. And if you have trouble with it, just shoot me a message. I'm happy to walk you through it. It's not that hard the more you do it. When I first started it, I hated it. I never thought that I was going to be able to trim a video because it just didn't work out well the first few times. But the more I've done it, the better it's gotten. And the only way to get better at these videos, using VideoShop, going live, anything else, you just have to do it. There is no magic formula. You're going to look at the camera wrong. You're going to freeze. You're going to stutter. You're going to do all of that stuff. But if you don't do it now, what are the chances that you're going to do it next week? What are the chances that you're going to do it in week 3? You know, so making sure that you do it 3, 4, 5, 7 times a week, that's going to build your confidence. A little bit about Instagram posting, 2 to 4 times a day. You know, you want to be in that newsfeed as well. You want to be seen when people are scrolling their first 1 or 2 scrolls on Instagram. Where are we? Include videos. Instagram only allows 60-second videos, so I only post videos of my workouts on Instagram. I don't post videos of anything else. I probably could have food or making a shake or something like that, but I never have. But you only have 60 seconds. It cuts you off after that. And the third and final thing on Instagram, which is huge, is the use of hashtags. And you want to use hashtags that you would search if you wanted to lose weight, get toned, eat better, start your own at-home business, anything like that. And you have to use, I'm just going to make this a flat-out rule, you have to use 30 hashtags because 30 hashtags are given to you. Why not use them? Why not use them? If they're allowed 30, use all 30. Use all 30.
Specific.
What do you mean?
Like 30, what do you mean 30?
30 hashtags. 30 hashtags.
You're allowed to use 30 at a time.
You're allowed to use 30 at a time. If you use over that, it won't accept them. Like it won't allow you to do the post. And I always do my hashtags in the comments. You'll see, you probably can't see this because of the screen and how bright it is, but this is my notes section. And I have all of my hashtags in my notes section. So literally whatever it is, if it's a fitness post, I go to my hashtags that are about fitness, copy, paste in that first comment so that my actual copy in Instagram is not all filled with hashtags. So the first comment on my post on Instagram, that's where my hashtags go. And
That's
I just
awesome.
literally copy and paste them.
I never even thought about doing that. I just kind of like come up with them on the fly, and I try to think about like my target audience. You know, for me is like moms, and I'm a foster mom and an adoptive mom. So I hashtag those things because I know it's getting out to people that are not just fitness oriented, but I'll reach new people, and it might, you know, spark them to follow me. I guess. I mean, I hope. I'm getting new. I'm new at it and using hashtags.
Oh, me too. Me too. This is not something that I've ever been great at. It's definitely something I'm trying to focus more on in 2017. But if you're posting on Instagram and you are not using your 30 hashtags, don't even post. Like, you are not going to be reaching as many people as you could. And if you're not going to be reaching as many people as you could, then spend your time doing something else on another platform. But with Instagram, think, I can't post unless I have those 30 hashtags. And if you have no idea what those 30 hashtags should be, this is what I did. I literally went to all of Raina's posts and I stole her hashtags for her food post. and I stole her hashtags for her fitness posts, and I stole her hashtags for her, like, where she posts, like, you know, if I can't wear sweatpants, drink wine, and have my hair up, then, you know, I don't want to come, or something like that. You know, those little meme posts that she does. And I literally just copied all of those. And then I took out any word that had to do with mom, because I'm not a mom. And then I took out any word that had to do with, like, multi-poo, because I don't own multi-poos, you know, and I try to personalize them. But that gave me a base of what I could do for my hashtags. And once they're in that notes section, don't even think about it. It's not overwhelming. It's just a copy paste function. And it really does make that process a hell of a lot easier. I do recommend on the notes section, I think I use, 5. I go 5 spaces down and I put period, 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 period. So when they look at that first comment, they're not inundated with all those hashtags. It looks like nothing's even there. So it's just a little bit cleaner look on that Instagram post. All right. Snapchat, Pinterest, Twitter. You got me. I don't use them. I would encourage you to. There are trainings on all of those platforms. YouTube, Google. We've been in some more higher level coach trainings that have had the Pinterest and the Snapchat. I could probably find the recording and get that for you if you're interested. But really what I like to do if I'm trying to find a new platform is find somebody that has mastered it. You know, so Snapchat, Raina's really good. She gets a lot of business from Snapchat. I would follow her and kind of take tips and try to, you know, mimic it as much as possible. And I've actually been watching Olga Morris's Snapchat, and I like to watch Olga's life now. I follow her on a regular basis to see what's going on. So, you know, just kind of look around and see what you got. And then number 4, and probably the biggest one that's going to help a new coach's business, and the scariest one, is messaging. Messaging, messaging, messaging. So new coaches ask, who do I message? The first people that you message is anyone that likes your post. Just say thank you. Thank you for the support. The second tier of people that you message is anybody in your friends list that has ever had an interest in working out or eating right or just taking control of their life like themselves instead of relying on a corporation or anybody else in that manner. And really just send them a message telling them what you do now and asking them to support you in it and telling them how they can support you, to give feedback on your post, to like your post, to talk to you about what they see in, you know, this world that you've joined. You know, be open with those people, because a lot of times those people are going to be some of your first coaches. Those people are going to be some of your first customers. And if you are nervous to bring this up to them, you're never going to know it. But by asking for their support and letting them know by liking your post or commenting on your post, they're going to be helping you. You're not asking them to buy anything. You're asking them to follow along. And then they're going to start to learn more about you. They're going to start to learn more about the products. They're going to start to learn more about the results that people get through using them. Okay? And then the third tier of people that you want to message are strangers. You want to message strangers, and you want to go to their profile and you want to scroll for a few times and you want to see what that stranger is interested in. And then, oh, dang it. Frozen again. Please don't. Please don't die on me.
Coming in as
now it
Raina
jumps
will.
up.
There's 2 of you.
I know.
This is free.
You've been Raina the whole time, by the way.
I know. I used her. So, anyways, okay. Got a little bit of feedback, but that's not bad. So, okay, where was I?
Can you mute your other one that you're logged into?
I'm totally out of it, but yeah, I can. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So sorry about this. I guess my internet's just not as stable as I want it to be here, but I've got my roommate here, so that she might be using some of the signal, and I'm guessing that's what it is. So yeah, there's messaging and messaging with strangers, messaging with family, friends, people that support your post, and just starting a conversation. Don't even think about inviting your first few days on the job, and just get comfortable with reaching out to people. Now, once you get hosting and messaging kind of figured out, and you're feeling kind of good, and it doesn't stress you out to post a video, and it doesn't stress you out to do a call to action, I'm considering you a veteran coach. Once you've hit Success Club, once you rank advanced, and now comes the tricky part with veteran coaches. There are so many things, again, just like a new coach, where do I go with my time? Where do I go? And how do I continue to grow my business? I think the first thing you have to do is you have to prioritize your message. I actually sat down to have coffee with a lady today. She emailed me out of the blue. She's a realtor here in the Kansas City area. And she said, I just want to pick your brain. And for me, I'm like, okay, like what could this meeting be? And she actually said that she actually had no idea what I did. She knew I was into health and fitness, and she knew I helped people, but she had no idea that I was actually a Beachbody coach. And when I sat down and I said, well, I'm a Beachbody coach, she goes, you have, like, that marketing strategy is beautiful. She's like, I would have never, ever guessed that you were a Beachbody coach. And she's like, what is your, do you have a strategy? What is it? And I said, well, honestly, I just try to stick to my message, which is, health and wellness, health and fitness, and really thinking about the mental and emotional side in the morning, the physical side in the afternoon, and then inviting to the opportunity in the evening. And so that's kind of the formula that I've come up with since last January, and I've thrown some travel in there when Jeff and I were traveling a lot, and that's been taken out now and replaced with my family, my niece, my sister, spending time with my friends, going shopping. But those things, you just share your life. And so you shouldn't have Beachbody ads plastered everywhere at this point. You should have you plastered everywhere. And prioritizing your message is probably one of the most difficult things, because that's where you have to really dig deep and figure out what you want from this business. What do you want to be talking about with people? I know that Raina does not talk about the mental and emotional side as much as I do. And so her messages that she gets through Gmail and through Facebook, they deal pretty much 90-80% with fitness, because that is what she leads with at this point. Mine do not. Mine are all over the map, because I really focus in on that mental, emotional, and physical wellness, those platforms. And so that's where my messages go. So I think that whatever you want to focus in on, know that that's what you're going to have to talk about, not only in your posts, but also your personal messages. So who are you talking to? Moms, single people, people in their 20s, people in their 30s, people in their 40s, narrowing that down. What are you talking about? Like I said, I do the emotional, mental, and physical side of fitness. What do you do? I know Lindsay talks about her dog a lot. I know Vanessa talks about her kids a lot. I know Olga talks about organization a lot, and I think that, I know that from following their journey, and I actually saw a clean desk on Olga's Instagram, or not Olga's Snapchat the other day. And it made me laugh, because I can connect with that, because I know the story, the history behind it. So knowing what your message is, and knowing that it can change, but you're probably going to have to prepare people for it. So when I changed from traveling a lot, I did one post about the fact that I wouldn't be traveling, that I had picked Kansas City as the place where I was going to, kind of settle down. And then the weeks following that, I've posted pictures of me here in this apartment, and, and you just kind of integrate that story. And as it changes, update people to that, and how you want to deliver it. The yes, the message can be fitness, but you're going to have to talk about it. So the videos that you post, are you talking about your transformation? Are you talking about your mental transformation? Are you talking about how your relationships have changed since adding Beachbody into your life? Like making sure that you're really connecting with people. And I think videos are a great way to really deliver your message and make it clear, okay? The second thing that you need to do is you need to master another social media platform, okay? You have figured out Facebook or you have figured out Instagram. Tap into another one. If you're not growing, you're I don't know what that saying is, but you have to be growing. You have to be challenging yourself. You have to be, what?
You're stagnant.
You're stagnant. Yes, don't be stagnant. So get out there on a new social media platform and take it slow. You know, you won't see me every single day on Instagram or Snapchat, but I'm dabbling in the waters. So dabble with me. The third thing, and I think this is huge, and it definitely made me feel more like a veteran coach, challenger check-ins. When you're a brand new baby coach, you don't have challengers, or you may have 3 of them and they're messaging you all the time, and that's awesome. You're building a great relationship with them. But me into it maybe almost 2 years now, I have a lot of challengers. It takes me a full hour and a half to message all of my challengers at this point, because I don't message only people that are active on Shakeology. I message everybody that is in my wellness group that I've added. I don't message my coaches' clients. I message everybody in my wellness group that I have added, and I message everybody on my Challenge Tracker app that I have added. And that is what my Sunday mornings, Sunday afternoons look like. Not recently, because it's, shit happens, and be honest about it, be honest if you meant to do a check-in, or be honest if you don't have the energy to do a check-in. And a lot of times my challengers at this point just check in with me because they know what I'm going through, and they know that that's, that I have in the past and that I'm going to get back to it, but maybe that's just where they need to be and how they can help out. And that's been really cool. So if you want to do weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, set a schedule for that and let them know, hold yourself accountable there. This is a tough one for me. Check your online office for new leads at least weekly. I am awful about emailing new leads. One, I'm just like, oh, they'll never respond, and I try to write it off in my brain. That's totally not true. You have to be in connection with those leads that you're given. So check your online office at least weekly for new leads. And if you need an email or a template or anything like that to send them, just shoot me a message. I'm happy to share mine. The fifth thing you need to do, and I put this on there actually because of a message thread that I had with Vanessa earlier this year. Invest in the training, a leadership seminar, social media training, whatever interests you that others might like even going to a cooking class. You can write that off on your Beachbody taxes, invest in some sort of training, because I think when you take that time and invest money in your business, then you are going to be that much more accountable for growing that business and utilizing that information that you take from the seminar or that you take from the online training or whatever you decide to do. Gosh, it's unstable again. I don't even know.
It's like musical Kate.
So, yeah. Can you hear me? Cancel, leave. Okay. So, yeah, invest in your training. And then invite like a boss. You've been doing this long enough. You've got challengers. You've got coaches. Get out there and do it. Get out there every single day, at least 10. If you're not doing at least 10 and you want to make this your business, you're not doing enough. Okay? At least 10 if you're a veteran coach. Now, are you going to have downtimes where you don't send 10? I haven't sent 5 this month. I've sent follow-ups, but I've not sent 5. So also be honest with yourself and where you're at with your life and your business. And it's okay to take steps back. It's okay to change up your expectations. Okay? This business is a reflection of your life. And the Kate hosting this call 3 months ago would have never said that.
Nope.
The Kate hosting this call 3 months ago would have told you, just do it. Get over whatever is in your life. Write down a list, follow your list, message those people on your list, and that's not real life. Things are going to get hard. You're going to want to take your wine and watch your Netflix, and some days, do it. And when you've been doing it so long that you can't remember the last invite you sent, it might be time to reach out to one of these people on this call and say, I need some accountability. Right now, my accountability is getting out of bed before noon. I've done it every day this week. and knowing where you're at on your journey and being okay with it, that is where you've got to be. And that's and sharing that with people. That Kate 3 months ago, if I was doing this, you would not have known about it. Game face would have totally just wouldn't have even brought this up. So I think that's a huge thing for me to realize, but I think it's a great thing to share with you guys as well, because this business is hard. It's hard to put yourself out there when you feel like you just keep getting run over sometimes. And it could be with Beachbody, and it could be have nothing to do with Beachbody. And then my last thing is get on camera more. Make lead calls like this. Like, I will expect, as soon as they want to, Olga, Shandy, Vanessa, Jessica, the leaders on my team say, hey, I want to host this week's call. Or, hey, I have something to talk about on this week's call. Get on there, lead a team call. Second thing, make trainings. I talked about Facebook for 20 minutes. Have I ever made a Facebook training video? Duh, here's your sign, Kate. Make your own videos. All right, Melanie Mitro's got a whole library of videos. She's been the #1 coach for 3 years running.
Awesome.
She does something different, right? She makes her own content for her coaches. That dream team is the dream team because of that leader that they have. And then the last one, when you're on calls like this and you're on camera already, you may not be hosting, get involved, interact. All right, that was one thing that I really set for myself when I joined the Lux Republic. I would not be on a team call and not ask a question. Last year, my team was exactly like me. Olga and Kylie, and they were just all the time, even on Lux calls, hey, I've got a question here. Hey, I've had this experience here. And I think that really helped them get over the fears that they had with being on camera on their own Facebook pages, is that they were talking with coaches back and forth, people that had similar beliefs, people that wanted to build them up. So they started there on these team calls, and then it was easier for them in other places. So that's what I think, kind of setting a schedule is like. And you can do it, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. You can break it up time-wise every single day. I'm just more of a list person. I put it on my list, I cross it off. Put it on my list, I cross it off. And I use that list every single day. So that's all I have for kind of setting a schedule. Does anybody have any questions or comments or things that they would like to share about their schedule that helps them? I know Amanda has the weirdest schedule in the world and makes this work.
But I'm applying for another job within my department that will make me more normal. So if you are the praying kind, pray for me. Yes, I have a crazy schedule. It's almost like I have 2 separate scheduling. I do. I have 2 separate ways I do it. When I work days, I do my posting in the morning. And first thing at by 6 o'clock, I'm posting. And that does get me a lot of engagement. And then when I'm on nights, right around like the noon to 2 o'clock, I get a lot of engagement. So it just depends on the day. It's crazy.
Yeah. I think it's cool though that you have that kind of that flip in your schedule because you're completely connecting with a whole different crowd at the different times.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the crazy thing too is I can post something at midnight and I will get engagement and I will get comments. And when I wake up, I'll have like 30 comments or 30 likes or, you know, all kinds of crazy stuff. So that is pretty cool. I will miss that part of it because but I'll find a different rhythm, you know.
Definitely. Always be flexible.
Absolutely.
Do you guys set work hours? Does anybody, let me just ask, does anybody set work hours?
I do on a daily basis. So I look at what my schedule is going to be like today. And I knew that working tonight, so I started work at about 6:30 tonight, and I'll work all the way till 10:30 or 11, like 20 minutes before I'm going to go to bed, and that'll be my work today. But I just do it day by day. Shandy has solid work hours.
Yeah, so I get off at 1, so I go to Starbucks and I work until like 3:30.
Cool. I've always found it's easier to set hours that I'm not willing to work, you know, like for me, because we have small kids at home, like, you know, between the hours of 6 and 8 are really, it's probably when I need to be posting for engagement, but that's the hardest time for me to be present.
I think I agree that 6 to 8 is really good for your call to actions and your engagement post. What I do when I can't be present at that time or don't want to be, I think about the post and I create it ahead of time in my notes section. I have the picture ready to go and I literally copy, paste it, post it, and forget it. And when I can pick that phone back up at 9 or 9:30 or even the next day, then I get to message those people, reply to those comments, all that kind of stuff. But I do think that 6 to 9 window is super key for those call to actions and things like that.
Sometimes I will buffer a post, but I haven't done that in a long time because generally I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to post and I'm not thinking about it that far in advance yet, which is something I need to.
Have you ever used the Post-it?
Yes.
That might be something to get back to if you're struggling with what to post. Because I remember last year at this time, I think we used it for all of January and all of February, and March was a huge month for me because I had built that consistency with those same posts every single day, every single week for those 2 months in a row. So I think getting back to the basics with that is definitely nothing to shake a stick at. I mean,
sure.
Wake up, Shandy.
I'm here.
Anybody else on scheduling? All right. The last thing I want to bring to your attention is Team Cup. Team Cup. My team, we need to get them organized and everything like that. And I've got kind of a system that I'm going to use to suggest who should be on the same team based on rank, based on experience, all that kind of stuff. So I'll share that with you guys after this call. But just regular Team Cup info. It runs February 1st through February 28th. There are 5 people to a team, only 1 lifetime diamond. So what the word lifetime means for diamond, if you have ever been a diamond and you've held that rank for 6 weeks, you are a lifetime diamond. So no matter what, if you are an emerald at this point, you were that diamond for 6 weeks and you bounce back down to emerald or ruby, you're still considered a lifetime diamond. Okay? So we can't have 2 diamonds on one team. Rank advancements with you or your coaches. Okay? So your Team Cup team gets 3 points if you rank advance or if anybody on your team underneath you rank advances. Those are 3 points. And each Success Club point that you get is 1 Success Club point. Is 1 Team Cup point. What?
Let me get that real quick. So you said if you rank advanced on anybody underneath you, so even if my coach is not on my team cup and they rank advanced, okay, and that's what I couldn't get for sure last time. All right. I need to get my freaking people to Emerald. Oh. Get them on the call.
I love it. And each Success Club point that you earn is 1 point for your team. Okay, and with this all access pass, I mean, I'm having people that are just like, only $40 more? Like, yeah. So I love that 1 extra point. I think we're only going to get that through the end of February. So definitely keep plugging away at that. And then the prizes, I looked them up. Bluetooth speaker for tier 1. And that's basically if all of the people on your team hit Success Club, then you're going to qualify for that tier 1 prize of that Bluetooth speaker. It's got the Beachbody logo on it. Second tier is Coach Cooler bag. So it's got the logo on it. It's a cooler. You put your snacks in it, whatever. The third tier, or the first tier, is the Shaco sleeveless hoodie. So if you like to rock sleeveless hoodies, push your team and go. And the teams that are 2nd through 10, they get an Apple TV. So that's kind of cool. And the grand prize is a trip to LA and meeting the trainers and all that kind of stuff. And I think really the most important part of Team Cup is the why. And the why for me is that you work with a smaller group, you share your goals for that month, and you really hold each other accountable and build relationships with people that you don't have that great a connection with. So, I definitely want to encourage my team to work together on this Team Cup. But if any of them wanted to branch out and join another Team Cup, like through Lux or just through some other person that they met on Facebook that's a Beachbody coach, yes, go do it. Build those other relationships outside of our team so that we can have more resources. If Vanessa goes and meets a coach from maybe Wisconsin on Facebook and they have a really good relationship and she asked her to join her Team Cup, well, then we're going to have another connection there where we can have guest speakers come and talk and we can bring people into our teams. And I think that's, we kind of get in our own little Beachbody bubbles, and I definitely am in mine. I've got my Addie and my Rita and my Jen and, Kari, and I have my little bubble that I've built. But I think it's really good for us to get out of that bubble and to meet new people and expand our network. So Team Cup is a great reason to do that. So are you frozen again? This is ridiculous.
Hey. You can see the future. Oh, okay, there we go.
Am I on?
Yeah.
Just keep showing up.
No, she's just overachieving.
So I did 90s R&B plus hashtag hit cardio. I took 1 out of the one that I did on my comments section. So yeah, total 30, and that includes what you put in the comments. So I've got Shandy, Amanda, Olga. Anybody else want that hashtag? Lacey, why don't you message me your phone number? Because I can put this over Messenger. It'll be too much. Lizzie?
Me. I'll message you.
Thank you. Vanessa?
I want them. I'll message you too.
All right, Amy. I guess everybody that I'm going to receive a message from, basically. Tara or Laurel, do you guys want them? Got it. And Tara, yeah, just shoot me your cell phone and I'll put it all in a big group message. And if you are, like Shandy said, she's attracting mostly coaches. Change up your hashtags. It's going to lose again. Where's Kate? Change up your hashtags. Go to other top coaches, like a Matt Way, an Ing.